Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. My name's Richard Lyons, and I am back with another episode of the Lyons Den. If you enjoy watching these episodes, please give us a subscribe and also go check out the Memo Podcast, the other show on this channel. I would really appreciate it. In this episode, I'm talking about three things. I saw the Sonic movie last night. I'm going to give my review about that. I'm going to give some more thoughts after my reaction the other day on the new Batsuit and just some little more details that I heard and some fuller thoughts because I kind of just did that quickly while I was in my car at work. And then the last thing we're going to talk about is that Stranger Things teaser we got the other day. I know it's been a few days since those two other things, but I only do this on weekdays, so I'm here now ready to give my thoughts. So if any of that stuff sounds intriguing to you, please stick around. Or maybe if one thing sounds intriguing, skip to that part if you want. I'll have it in the description below where you can find it. So let's get started. And the most recent thing on my mind would be this Sonic movie, which I got to see last night at 11 o'clock at an AMC theater. And I gotta say, it wasn't bad. I like Sonic. I'm not a gigantic Sonic fan, like I had the games when I was younger, some of them, not all of them. I really had the one on my Game Boy Advance. That was the one I played the most. But I always liked Sonic. When I would play the other games at my friend's house, I enjoyed it, But obviously, everyone knows what happened with the redesign of the character and how everyone freaked out about the original design, and then they changed it, which got them some pretty positive, feedback from everyone. Like, oh, look at the studio, they went and changed it. And I can't imagine what this movie would have been like with that creepy-looking humanoid Sonic thing that they were trying to go with. That would not have worked at all. And I feel like the movie's pretty much what you would expect. The dialogue's kind of corny at times. The story isn't great. The CGI isn't that great, but it's pretty funny. James Marsden is good. The guy who voices Sonic has some good lines, and there's also some bad lines, like stuff that they try and keep in touch with the youth and that they throw in there that's just kind of, not funny. Jim Carrey is great in it, though. I thought he was really funny. The things I liked about it, all the scenes where Sonic is someone coming in? No. All the scenes where you see Sonic use his powers I thought were pretty cool. I thought that they did a good job of, having him and James Marsden kind of cross paths and how they explained the whole Sonic backstory. It was kind of quick in the beginning, but you find out how he got to Earth and why he's like going to James Marsden for help in his character. And I also thought they did a good job of setting up the name Eggman. So here's a tiny little spoiler. So essentially, Sonic, he goes to Earth because he can't stay on his home planet because people are trying to steal his power, and he goes in this little town called Green Hills, I believe it's called, and he can't reveal himself because he's essentially an alien, and if he reveals himself, people are going to freak out. And, there's this one guy in town that they call, like, Crazy Steve or something, and he's like, there's a blue devil out there, like, I'm telling you, no one believes him, whatever. And Sonic basically, like, hides around all these places and has nicknames for everyone. Like, James Marsden's a cop who eats and talks to donuts, so he's the Donut Lord. And James Marsden's wife does like yoga, and he calls her Pretzel Lady and stuff. So essentially, he'll like watch through their windows and pretend he's hanging out with them because he's all alone, and it's kind of sad, He's just a kid and he's alone and he's trying to connect with these people without him knowing that he's there. But they use that, him giving everyone these nicknames without knowing who they are. They kind of use that as a setup for him to call Robotnik Eggman at some point, because his drones that he has look like eggs. So he kind of just like, come on, Eggman, and they just throw it in. And I thought that was an easy and not forceful way to set it up, that Sonic just has these nicknames for people, and he throws that one on Robotnik, and it works, and I like that. Things I didn't really like, the story really wasn't great. You never really get a chance for, like, James Marsden kind of just helps him, like he meets this alien Sonic and Sonic is like, come on, I need your help, it's life or death, and like they talk for like 2 minutes, and then James Marsden, he's a good guy, but I think most people would probably, it'd take them a little bit to accept the task of helping an alien monster, not a monster, but an alien creature, especially when he's a cop and the government is looking for him. It was just kind of like pretty quick how he just agreed to help him like that. But they set up that he likes animals and all that stuff, whatever. So I guess that was part of it. So I thought that was not done too well. The CGI at times is not great. It's definitely a kids movie. It's not that funny to me. There were some parts that I laughed at, but overall, I thought a lot of the jokes felt pretty flat. But, it kept me entertained. Sonic using his powers were cool. The interactions between him and James Marsden were cool. What's his name? Jim Carrey, like I said, he was funny. He had some good lines, and he was just, going bonkers with it. Just classic Jim Carrey performance. But I don't think it was a bad time at the movies. If you have like an AMC movie pass or you're just looking for something to do, or definitely if you have kids, you won't be bored watching it, and they'll definitely enjoy it. It's definitely a kids movie. And if you like Sonic, there's, you get the sound of the rings, and you get some classic little Sonic moments here and there where like the sounds of the old game or any of that, it's a little nostalgic. So that might be cool for some people. And, they left it open for a sequel, obviously, and it's doing well at the box office. I'm pretty sure it had the biggest box office opening for a video game movie. So I think they're definitely going to come back with a sequel. We'll probably, there's a mid-credit scene that I'm not going to spoil, but I'm sure we're going to see another major Sonic character in that next one. But yeah, I would say if you were somewhat interested in seeing it, go check it out. It's not boring. You're pretty entertained. Go see it with a few friends or something, or bring kids if you have them. But it's on my rating scale. I'll put it at it's all right. It's not bad. It's not good. There's some high moments. There's some low moments. Pretty entertaining, and that's about it. So if you want to see the Sonic movie, go check it out. If you already saw it, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. We can talk about it for a little bit. Maybe there's some stuff that I missed and that you noticed, so let me know. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the movie. And now let's move on to the next subject of the day, which is something that I did give a little reaction to the day it did happen and when it dropped, which was when Matt Reeves revealed the Batsuit. He just dropped a tweet on Twitter out of nowhere with a Vimeo link to it, and it was just a video that starts out and it's all black with what seems to be the Batman theme for this new movie. Dun 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 dun. And it just kind of pans in, and you start to see a red light come in, and you see the outline of Batman, and you really only get a shot of his chest, and like from here to up to here. You don't get to see the ears. You get to see his face kind of and the cowl, but you don't get to see the whole suit. You don't really get to see the cape. So let's talk about the design for a second. So it looks like it's like armor, like kind of Arkham Knight type armor, plates. The bat symbol is very thin, as opposed to Ben Affleck's, who was very fat, like the Dark Knight Returns. The cowl, as you pan up and see it, you can kind of see stitching on it. It looks like almost like a leather look to it. The cape has a collar that goes like this. I'm not sure I've seen that on many iterations of Batman, but some people were saying it's been in some comic books. So I didn't mind it. I thought it looked pretty cool, but it definitely looks like it's an early stages Batsuit, almost a prototype. And there were reports that this Batman is only in year 2 of his crime-fighting career, so that would make sense. And I thought it looked good, honestly. I know I saw some people complaining, but you can only see so much of the suit. We didn't even get to see the ears. We didn't get a full shot of him with the cape like draping over or flowing in the wind or something. Action shots are important, I think, for stuff like this. Apparently, and I can see this, when you look at when you hear this and you look at it, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Apparently the bat symbol is made out of the grip of the gun that killed his parents, and you can see like in the middle part it looks like the sides of a grip of a gun. So I think that's probably true, and if that's true, of course Batman would do something like that because he's got to be extra with everything and dramatic. And I like it. I think that's a cool take on it, and I think it's like a cool way. Like I saw someone bring up like, what drives him is like with him at all times. It's right on his chest, and he carries that weight with him at all times, like seeing his parents die in front of him and how he wants to fight crime in their name to avenge them. And he just keeps that gun as the bat symbol that it's with him at all times, and it sort of drives him. One complaint people had was what I mentioned, the collar, which I think looks pretty cool. They say they're going for the detective route with Batman. Kind of reminds me of like an investigator in an old noir movie with their collar trench coat or something. And I feel like part of it's also they want the Pattinson to be able to move his head. That's what I'm doing. That's my moving head example. They want him because most of the cowls are attached directly to the cape in the Batman movies. Except I think in the Dark Knight he had like sort of like this weird like neck thing going on, so he could finally turn his head because he couldn't in Batman Begins. But it's usually like attached to the cape, this rubber, and then like Ben Affleck could kind of turn his head, but you could tell it was a little stiff. But I feel like they're doing that to give him room to be able to move his head and move around and not be restricted by the cowl and cape. But I thought the collar looked cool. I'm excited to see the full cape and see what it looks like on his body. I'm excited to see how long the ears are. That's something we didn't get to reveal. I saw some people were complaining about the nose. It reveals too much of his nose. Little stuff like that's not going to bother me. As long as the movie's good and as long as, Pattinson does good in the role, which I'm sure he will because he's a great actor. But it was just a first look at the suit. You can't take too much away from it. But what I did take away was the score sounds really cool. You can kind of tell the overall, they're going for this dark, gritty vibe with Batman, which obviously fits it. I love that they're not making it all black suit. There was definitely, it looked like it's going to be pretty gray with like black cowl and all that. I didn't want another all black suit after what we got with Christian Bale, and it's cool. It's kind of like an armor, like I said, like Arkham Knight armor. I'm excited to see the full thing, and I'm excited to see where they go from there after that. If this is a prototype suit in an early Batman, I'm sure they have a lot in store for us, so I'm really excited for it. Let me know what you guys think about the suit, if you like it or dislike it, if whatever you want to see on what hasn't been revealed yet, if you want long ears or short ears, or what you want the rest of the suit to look like. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you guys. We could talk about that in the comments. So let's move on to our next subject here, and that is the teaser for Stranger Things Season 4. And if you haven't watched that, go check it out because there is a big spoiler in it. And if you haven't watched it, maybe go watch it and then come back because I'm going to reveal what that spoiler is in a second. So it starts out, it's in the air, and you see like a snowy area, which seems to be Russia, and you see a bunch of guys working on these tracks with big sledgehammers, and it kind of just goes down the tracks, down the line of all these people. And then it starts going towards this one guy, and he stands up after he's hitting the stuff with his hammer, and he takes off his hat, and it's here's the spoiler, it's Hopper. He's bald, he's in Russia, he's enslaved by these guys, and it's like a military camp or something. There's guys with guns guarding them. So they revealed, and they're not shying away. Hopper's alive, pretty much what we all thought after he died in Season 3. I like that there was no way they're going to be able to hide it if he was going to come back. I'm sure they want him to be a big part of the story. So all the promotional material, and it would have leaked at some point. So to just come out with your first teaser and say, yes, he's alive, we know, you all know. I mean, they even teased it at the end of the season. Some people, when they go up to that cage and they're like, get the American or something. Most people speculated that was Hopper. Some people said it was the villain from the first season. I forgot his name. Brenner, with the gray hair, who was Eleven's papa, she would call him. Some people thought it might be him, but yeah, I'm happy they kind of got out of the way, and it was a cool way to just tease the upcoming season as a first look. Everyone's like, oh man, I wonder what he's doing there. I wonder what they have him for. Are they what is it? How did he get there? Did he run into the Upside Down and then come out on the other side in Russia? Is the Upside Down all over the world now? Everyone can access it. It's going to be cool. I think they're going to be obviously going global with this, unless the first episode is just Hopper escaping back to Hawkins, but who knows? I'm not sure if people are saying this is the final season. I heard it's not. I heard there might be a season 5. I don't know. That could be wrong, but yeah, I thought it was a cool teaser. I'm happy Hopper's back. I'm happy they didn't string us along. I'm happy it's not going to be 5 episodes of the season teasing that he's coming back and you finally see him. They got it out of the way. And there's a lot of questions now. Like I just said, how do you get there? What's he going to do? How's he going to get out of there? How's it going to tie all back into Hawkins and the kids? How are they going to find out is he alive? How are they going to find out he's alive? Are they going to go there? Is he going to come back? Who knows? But I thought it was pretty cool. Happy he's back. And I want to know what you guys think of it. Did you guys think it was a mistake to reveal that Hopper's alive so early with the first promotional material for Season 4? Are you happy they got it out of the way like I am because we all knew he was coming back anyway? Let me know what you think. It's definitely a good weekend for some movie and TV fans. We got a Batman tease, a Stranger Things tease, a lot of cool stuff. So I'm excited about it, and thank you all for tuning in today. This is going to be the end of the episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment below or hit subscribe or something. Let's all get talking here, talk about our favorite stuff in the movie world. Let me know your thoughts on all the things I talked about today. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Whew.